Hi, Facebook. I thought I'd try this one more time, and I went somewhere where I won't be disturbed. There was a bunch of people about to run up and say hi to me, and I didn't want to stop in the middle and start explaining how I was doing a live stream. But thanks so much for tuning in. And someone was just asking me about 1111 and what's that mean and what's going on with that. So I thought I'd address that. And I'm going to speak about it a little bit differently than maybe you've heard of before. So I think you'll enjoy this for a minute, and maybe this will give you some new ideas. So let's see, I had something written that I put on my Facebook page, but no one seemed to look at it. So I thought I'd address it, and maybe I'll read it this way. So let me see if I can move over where there's some light. Now I put forth the proposition that matter in its quantum state can be looked at as ones and zeros. So as in a computer code, the theory of digital matter. Now, I'm not trying to take away from people's perceptions as their measurable response is laid upon the observer observing, but I was looking into the theory of holographic matrix-like reality, and I came upon Claude Shannon's work. And he worked for Bell Labs in the 1940s, and he helped come up with coding ones and zeros. And he's basically the grandfather of computers. He and others came up with a self-correcting computer code which were needed when transferring messages. Information would be lost in the signal. And what I would suggest is go ahead and Google Claude Shannon, and you could research this kind of stuff yourself. Now, me being a bright brain thinker, I went looking for numerical patterns in the self-correcting programs, which would be something I would recognize differently from others. I came across this picture, and I'll show you the picture now. Hopefully that makes sense. And you could freeze frame it there and check it out. Where was I? I came across a picture, which is how self-correcting programs work in essence. Now you'll notice at the top we have 1111. This is self-correcting code propagates itself into a noticeable algorithm that to us who see these numbers stands out right away. So, conclusions, theories. Higher value integers or processes which have an impact on our reality from a higher dimensional value leave a wave or wake like a boat in the water, making a wave behind it, leaving self-correcting code behind. Or, another theory of mine, when higher states of being arise, there is an opening into the matrix, which makes the values add up to self-correcting code like a mirror reflecting values. And, or so, there are rips in space-time happening, and time itself uses a self-correcting code to within our universal matrix hologram. So that picture was a representation of Shannon's model of communication, which in conclusion, the self-correcting code shows itself as our universal matrix as 1111 may be a higher power reaching out to us through us ourselves when we are self-correcting our spirits like a mirror. So I just thought that that was an interesting take on 1111 that maybe no one else, I know no one else ever thought of. So if you were a computer, not even a hacker, but someone interested in the history of it, and you came across, well, I came across Claude Shannon's, work, and of course, like I said, my being a right brain thinker, I looked right away for 1111, and sure enough, there it was in the self-reflecting, self-correcting computer code. So that's kind of interesting, isn't it? Who knew? Who knew? So what does that mean? Good question. So what that could mean is that we are actually living in a holographic matrix, and if we do, when the people who see self-correcting code would be the people that are more in line with their spiritualness, or it's from an outside source outside of our code that's letting us know something. So a lot of people say that it's time to make a wish. So there's kind of maybe a break in the code where there's other higher values happening, or some other people feel like it's a wake-up call. So that's a wake-up call for people to say, oh, okay, I'm awake. So I would think, like what I was saying before, it's something higher above us in a way. And I use the word higher in a way to illustrate the fact that we're, on one level of plane, and there are other level of planes around us. So is there any questions for anybody about this? No, I guess not. All right, so thanks for joining, and hope you're having a great day. Peace.